We're Vince and Angela with Fitting and Adventure, if you're new here. We travel around full time, finding historical places, just kind of wacky festivals sometimes, and great locations to visit. So today we're in Port St. Joe, Florida. It's on the forgotten coast of Florida. Locals here call it Port St. Slow,
yes.
And it is definitely that. It is kind of a step back, laid back atmosphere, even more so than other places in Florida. And it's kind of more the old Florida feel to it.
Yeah, and if you've seen our videos, you know that we stay in one place and we hub and spoke out, and we're constantly on the move. Driving an hour or two to get to a place to do something is not out of the norm for us. But this past week has been just great because we've had a chance to just kick back, kick our feet up, walk along the beach, and just really take a break and really slow down and enjoy our time here. It has been amazing.
Enjoy the resort too, because
Yes.
we're typically on military bases, which are great in some aspects, but they don't have the typical pool and everything that goes along with an RV resort. So we are staying at Port St. Joe RV Resort, and we walked over here. It has beach access, so this beach has been where we've been hanging out all week. And it's been great to walk. I mean, the amount of time we walk the dogs is to walk over here. And this is a dog-friendly beach too, so it's been really nice that way too.
The whole town has pretty much been dog-friendly.
Yeah, the entire town. There's most of the restaurants. I don't think I saw a single restaurant that wasn't dog-friendly. And not to say it doesn't exist, but it's just been a really great stay in general. The RV resort has been great. They have great monthly rates too, so we might be looking at that in the future and come back and spend some more time. We are in town because the Port St. Joe RV Resort invited us to come stay and check out the area, and I'm very glad they did because it's been very great. It's definitely something that I'll look to maybe do for longer in the future because they do have monthly rates here, and it's just great because you walk right over from the resort to this beach. And so the beach, I think at most we've seen is maybe 6 people on this beach.
Yeah, there's never many.
There's never too many. Every once in a while somebody's wading out to fish or something, but other than that you really don't see anything. So it's just a nice quiet atmosphere. One night we did talk to a local woman here on the beach, and she was all excited to tell us about everywhere in town. So the locals are happier to see tourists and everything too.
Today you can take a walk to the Constitutional Convention Museum and get a glimpse into the early days of Florida's history.
In preparation for statehood, 56 delegates met in Port St. Joe on December 3, 1838 to lay out the state's constitution. The delegates were mainly planters and lawyers from 13 of the nation's 26 states and 4 foreign countries. Only 3 were native Floridians. The Constitution divided the state government into the 3 traditional branches and was approved by popular vote in 1839. It served as the state's constitution from statehood in 1845 until Florida seceded from the Union in 1861. The original 1838 Constitution, signed by 41 delegates on January 11, 1839, has disappeared. The only surviving handwritten copy is a clerk's copy signed by the convention secretary. Visitors to the museum can take a self-guided tour through displays and exhibits of the area. Artifacts of the original settlement in St. Joseph are on display. A replica convention hall takes visitors into the debate of delegates as they work to draft this important legislation.
We present thanks to the Honorable Robert Raymond Reed for the dignity, ability, and impartiality with which he presided over these deliberations.
I congratulate you upon the work you have accomplished. We met here surrounded by difficulties. There was a miscalculation among ourselves, perhaps among our constituents, of the labor to be performed. For the most part, we were strangers to one another, and time was necessary for the just appreciation of the character and motives of each other, for the interchange of opinion, for removing prejudices and softening opposition, and for the correction of error and the establishment of truth.
Besides, Mr. Reed, we were without books from models of constitutional legislation and the opinions of the great lawgivers of the world. We were dependent almost entirely upon memory.
My friend, Mr. Duval is correct. But notably and faithfully, you gentlemen have...
In 1841, a ship docking in the town's harbor brought a person infected with yellow fever to St. Joseph. By the end of the year, the town's population dropped from close to 4,000 to less than 400, as many people died or fled the town. Many of those who died lay here in unmarked graves.
And one of the best views in town is right here, on top of the Cape San Blas Lighthouse. It's a short climb to the top, and you get a beautiful view of the surrounding area.
The original lighthouse stood on the tip of the St. Joseph Peninsula to warn ships of a dangerous shoal extending 5 to 6 miles out into the Gulf. It was constructed out of brick masonry and stood 85 feet high. But due to shore erosion, storm damage, and battle damage from the Civil War, the conical brick structure was replaced with the cast iron, 8-legged skeletal tower. More storm damage and erosion caused the tower to be moved further inland, and then moved again. The lighthouse was moved at least 3 times before it was finally moved to its current location in Core Park, near downtown Port St. Joe in July 2014. Historic downtown Port St. Joe is a great place to spend the day with a half-mile stroll back in time through an area rich in history. The Reed Avenue shopping district has many locally owned boutiques, sidewalk bistros, and day spas. Also within easy walking distance, you'll find local outfitters that can get you out on the water with a new kayak or hook you up with fishing gear. And if all of this shopping makes you hungry, be sure to grab a bite to eat at one of the many restaurants along your route. Florida has some of the most beautiful state parks, and the T.H. Stone Memorial St. Joseph Peninsula State Park is no exception. If conservation interests you and you want to learn more about turtles, make sure you stop by the Forgotten Coast Sea Turtle Center. Here you can see and interact with these wonderful animals. The center works to promote the stewardship of coastal and marine resources through information and education. This turtle excluder device is installed on shrimp trawls to allow sea turtles to escape the nets and remain safe. The Port St. Joe RV Resort is just steps away from the water, nestled between Indian Pass and Mexico Beach. From the spacious sites to the warm waters, it is a perfect base camp for either relaxing or your adventure. From the camp store and well-maintained facilities to the dog park for your four-legged friends, they have everything you need for your RV getaway.
Hope you enjoyed the video and found a reason to visit Port St. Joe for yourself as well. For the next few weeks, if you tune in, we'll be visiting different areas along the Gulf Coast. So we're gonna hit a couple more in Florida and then Alabama and Mississippi too before we head up into Arkansas to do some diamond mining.
Yeah, should be a good experience.
We hope to see you on the road.